Alright, hi, hello, welcome back to another scary story video. Before everything starts, I want to say thank you guys so much for love and support you guys gave on the last video. It got way more views than I expected, and so much, actually, people commented on the post, so I just want to say thank you, on the post, on the video, so I just want to say thank you guys so much for everything. Um, the support and everything was crazy. Seeing a video like that get 800 views. I don't know what happened. And even then, I want to thank you guys so much for actually subscribing to me. We went from 31 people to 64, so that's really crazy. So I want to say thank you guys so much for everything. Okay, so today is gonna be slightly kind of different from my regular r/nosleep videos. For those who don't know, Reddit is currently protesting or going to a blackout. Well, some of the threads on Reddit are doing a blackout to protest against Reddit. There we go. I got it correct this time. So r/nosleep is also participating, so that means I can't really, I can't really read r/nosleep today. Okay. So, I still wanted to do something for you guys because I do really enjoy reading these scary stories. It keeps my brain kind of active. And you all seem to like it so much too. So, I kind of found a little alternative. I'm be reading 10 short, scary stories today to make up for, instead of reading the 5 regular scary stories. So, hopefully y'all will enjoy this video. I read through one story on both of them. So the first one seems like most of them have kind of twist. I only read one, so the other, I read one on both pages. They will also be linked down below. Also, this is streamed live over at twitch.tv/JenkyJohnson. So if I stutter and if I mumble and if you hear me take a sip of my drink. This is all live, no editing, nothing, as previously stated in the last video. But I don't know, I think it kind of adds like a little bit of I don't know, kind of like uniqueness to a degree. Even though I really just don't have anything to really edit my videos, so hopefully y'all will still enjoy. We're also back in the little wilderness area. I think you guys really enjoyed the atmosphere last time, so hopefully y'all will enjoy. Okay, so I'm gonna take a drink real quick, then we get into the video, into the stories. But still, yet again, thank you guys so much for everything. It means a lot to me. Alright. So, alright, here we go. This is from an article called 5 Short Ghost Stories That Will Scare the Life Out of You. So, as previously stated, Reddit is r/nosleep is protesting on Reddit, so I gotta do something. But I do find it kind of ironic how the first story also mentions it was found on Reddit, so kind of a full circle. Okay, so the first story. The Puppy in the Basement. This short ghost story was found on Reddit, and it was really creepy. Mommy told me to never go into the basement, but I wanted to see what was making that noise. It kind of sounded like a puppy, and I wanted to see the puppy, so I opened the basement door and tiptoed down a bit. I didn't see a puppy, and then Mommy yanked me out of the basement and yelled at me. Mommy had never yelled at me before. And it made me sad, and I cried. Then Mommy told me to never go into the basement again, and she gave me a cookie. That made me feel better. So I didn't ask her why the boy in the basement was making noises like a puppy, or why he had no hands or feet. So, as I was saying before, it kind of has like a twist to it. I'm not sure if any other of the stories are going to be also kind of twist. The second one is called Nunchucks. Michelle Froelich Young had a strange experience with her 2-year-old daughter submitted to movie pilot. When my daughter was 2, I found her trolling paper towel. Here we go, I'm already fucking up. Sorry about that. When my daughter was 2, I found her trolling paper towel tubes tied with twine in the air. I asked her what was she doing. She said she was practicing her nunchucks. I was very confused as she had no way of knowing what they were. I asked her what she meant, and she said that Adam had told her how to make them, and showed her each night how to use them. She went on to say that Adam told her to practice because she may need to know how to defend herself someday. I almost freaked out, but asked her what Adam looked like. She said he was tall, blonde, and had blue eyes. She said, "Mommy, you know what he looks like. You know him. He died of a headache." I had to leave the room. You see, 4 months before she was born, my tall, blonde, blue-eyed martial arts pro friend had died from a brain aneurysm at the age of 27. She has not spoken of him since that day, so I'm not sure if I scared her with my reaction or if she had completed her lessons. So, I think you all can, kinda find out you know, everything is kinda like a little short twist at the end. But honestly, I think these are really good though. Are these r/nosleep stories? Not by any means though, but they're cool. So, story number 3. There's someone under the bed. Sometimes the very short ghost stories are the best, and this tale from Reddit via BuzzFeed tells the story of a father putting his young son to rest. I begin tucking him into bed, and he tells me, "Daddy, check for monsters in my bed." I looked underneath for his amusement and see him, and another him, under the bed, staring back at me, quivering and whispering, "Daddy, there's somebody on my bed." Okay, so this might be a little bit of a spoiler though, but this story is actually on the other one I was looking for. This one also kind of has more. Okay, this one actually kind of has more to it, though. So I'm also going to read it too. Just I want to let you know, if you do hear the story, this story will be heard again, but this one also has a little bit more of dialogue to it. So, short story number 4, The Chair. This short tale begins benignly enough with a friendly-seeming ghost playing with children. But when you learn the origins of the ghost, and just why the ghost was moving the object around the room, it quickly gets a lot creepier. Submitted via Reddit by a Scoop Whoop. When my sister Bessie and I were kids, our family lived for a while in a charming old farmhouse. We loved exploring its dusty corners and climbing the apple tree in the backyard. But our favorite thing was the ghost. We called her Mother, because she seemed so kind and nurturing. Some mornings, Bessie and I would wake up, and on each of our nightstands we'd find a cup that hadn't been there the night before. Mother had left them there, worried that we'd get thirsty during the night. She just wanted to take care of us. Among the home's original furnishing was an antique wooden chair, which she kept against the back wall of the living room. Whenever we were preoccupied watching TV or playing a game, Mother would inch that chair forward across the room, towards us. Sometimes she managed to move it all the way to the center of the room. We always felt sad putting it back against the wall. Mother just wanted to be near us. Years later, long after we moved out, I found an old newspaper article about a farmhouse original occupant, a widow. She murdered her 2 children by giving them a cup of poisoned milk before bed. Then she hung herself. The article included a photo of the farmhouse living room with a woman's body hanging from a beam. Beneath her, it knocked over, was that old wooden chair placed exactly in the center of the room. Did it get colder in here, or is it just me? That one was subtle, but that one was good. Also, why do I keep inching like away from the fire? Ooh. That one was really good. I really enjoyed that one. Okay. Ooh, wait. Okay, never mind. I thought there were 6 stories, was actually only 5. So, number 5. The Ghost at Home. One of my favorite short ghost stories, a man thinks that he loses a phone and someone is playing a trick on him. Turns out, there is someone playing with him, but it's a ghoul rather than a person. Submitted via Reddit by BuzzFeed. Last night, a friend rushed me out of the house to catch the opening act at a local bar music night. After a few drinks, I realized my phone wasn't in my pocket. I checked the tables we were sitting at, the bar, the bathrooms, and after no luck, I used my friend's phone to call mine. After 2 rings, someone answered, gave out a low, raspy giggle, and hung up. They didn't answer again. I eventually gave up as it was a lost cause and I headed home. I found my phone laying on my nightstand right where I left it. Huh. So, are you scared? Yeah, I'm not trying to take, you know, Shane and Ryan's little catchphrase though. But so that was the first 5 scary stories. We're moving on to the 6th one. I'm just gonna combine the 2 and be reading 10 scary stories found on the internet or something like that. Alright, so story number 6. This one is also the one that we previously read, but this one also kind of has more backstory to it to a degree, but also so kind of short. So, story number 6. Who's in my bed? A father went to say goodbye to his 7-year-old son, very well knowing that if he didn't, his son would have trouble sleeping. It was a nightly routine between them. He entered a dimly lit room where his son waited under his blanket. With his first glance, the father could tell there was something unusual about his son tonight, but he couldn't put a finger on it. He looked the same, but had a grin that was true from ear to ear. "You okay, buddy?" the father asked. The son nodded, still with a grin, before saying, "Daddy, check for monsters under my bed." The father chuckled a bit before getting onto his knees, to check only to satisfy his son. There, under the bed, pale and afraid, was his son. His real son. He whispered, "Daddy, there's someone on my bed." So, as previously stated, that was the story with the more background actually, gave more insight to what, was occurring. So, yeah, it's pretty good. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the second run around with it. I honestly should have checked this before, but having read it down is, kind of threw a wrench in my plans, but I still want to, get more of this type of content out, though, so hopefully you guys can bear with me until the 14th. Alright, so I took another sip of my drink. Let's go. Story number 7. The Cabin. A hiker decided to go on a hike by himself. Something he was not very used to. The whole day was normal. Trees and bushes engulfed his surroundings. He enjoyed being outdoors in the mountains. Nothing seemed strange to him. That was until he was making his way back to his car. He figured an 8-hour hike was good enough. The sky was already getting dark, and he needed to get back. Fast. What was odd was how much he didn't recognize the trail back. He began to panic. Night had already taken over. All he had was a flashlight and no clue on how to get back. He knew it was already too late and too dangerous to keep going through the perilous forest. He began to worry that he would have no shelter for the night, when, almost luckily enough, he stumbled across a broken down cabin. It was dark, and he seemed like no one had visited it in years. But he knew it was the only place where he could rest until daylight. especially since his flashlight was running out of battery. He knocked on the door a few times, but no one answered. So he let himself in, where strangely enough, a perfect bed fitted for one person awaited him in the center. He knew that if the owner came back, he could explain himself. He was sure the owner wouldn't mind, or was even probably dead. So he went ahead and got himself comfortable in bed. As he tried to sleep, he couldn't ignore the collection of paintings around the room. Portraits of strange-looking people all peering at him, each wearing a smile that sent chills up his spine. Not too long after, his exhaustion from the hike got the best of him, and he was able to ignore the faces. The next morning, he got up early and was shocked to see that there was no paintings around the room, but windows. Ooh, that was a good twist. I really enjoyed that one. That was actually really good. It was better than I expected. Hell yeah. Alright, so that was story number 7, I believe. Yeah, okay, that was 7. Alright. Story number 8. The Red Wristband. A doctor was working at a hospital. A hospital where the patients were tagged with colored bands. Green meant alive, and red meant deceased. One night, the doctor was instructed to get a few supplies from the basement of the hospital, and so he headed to the lift. The lift door was open, and there was a patient inside, minding her own business. Patients were allowed to roam around the hospital to stretch, especially those who have stayed long. The rule was to be back in the rooms before 10. The doctor smiled at the patient before pressing a number to the basement. He found it unusual that the woman didn't have a button already pressed. He wondered if she was heading to the basement too. The lift finally reached the floor where the doors opened. In the distance, a man was limping towards the elevator, and in a panic, the doctor slammed the elevator button to close. It finally did, and the lift began to ascend back up, the doctor's heart pounding. "Why did you do that? He was trying to use the lift," the woman stated, annoyed. "Did you see his wrist?" the doctor asked. "It was red. He died last night. I would know because I did his surgery." The woman lifted her wrist. He saw red. She smiled. "Like this one?" Honestly, that was actually really good too. I feel like I have the same reaction to every story that I read though, but like I really do enjoy the little twist at the end. It's really nice. It's really nice. I was like, it's really nice. Wow. Alright, so we have 2 more to go, and the video will be over. So, short story number 9. White with red. A man just moved into an apartment and heads to the receptionist to get his keys. The receptionist gave him the key with a smile, but warns him not to disturb the door with no number on his floor. He wondered why, but didn't bother to ask. He was too busy with his new apartment to care. After he finished unpacking, he began to get curious. He questioned why the receptionist would warn him of such things, and so he stepped out of his apartment to check the door with no number. He tried the doorknob first, but it was locked. So, instead he got onto his knees and peeked through the keyhole. The apartment he was looking into was empty. His eyes scanned the whole place before stopping at a woman, standing face against the wall in the corner. He noticed her pale skin and long black hair before stepping back. Suddenly, feeling perverted in a way for invading someone else's privacy, he brushed it off, assuming she was someone that did not want to be disturbed. The next day, he got more curious about the woman and eventually went back. Straight away, getting onto his knees, he peeked through the keyhole and saw all red. Red. He assumed that pale woman must have caught him peeking the last time and covered the hole with something red. He left the door alone and instead went down to the receptionist to ask her questions. The receptionist sighed and asked, "You looked through the keyhole, didn't you?" He admitted to it, and so she felt obliged to tell him the story. She told him that a couple used to live in the apartment a long time ago, but the husband went crazy and killed his wife. However, the couple wasn't normal. They had pale skin, black hair, and red eyes. Ooh, that was a good twist. I really enjoyed that one. Okay, why do I keep like okay, I wonder why I'm gonna keep like yeah, I need to watch this video back to see like my camera's moving or my character's actually moving. Okay, so the last story. A mother's call. A daughter was in a room upstairs doing her homework when suddenly she heard her mother call to come down for dinner. She jumped onto her feet and began making her way towards the stairs. But before she even took a step, hands grabbed her and pulled her into the laundry room beside the staircase. She panicked before realizing it was her mother. Her real mother. Eyes watery and bloodshot. "Don't go down there, honey. I heard it too." Okay, so that was the final short, scary story for today. Yet again, I want to apologize for, the stories not being the best, but hopefully you all enjoyed them still. I wasn't planning on r/nosleep to be also down today, so, that kind of threw a wrench into my plans, but I really do enjoy reading these scary stories, so if you guys want to, you guys want to keep seeing me or hearing me actually read them, I'll keep doing so. The support on the last video was so amazing. I just want to say thank you all so much for everything. And yeah, this video should be out soon. This was being recorded today on June 12th, so it'll be out June 13th around like 11 a.m. PST. So, hopefully y'all enjoyed this little scary story. I had so much fun, reading these little things. When r/nosleep comes back up on the 14th, I will probably do like a series. I'll probably be reading a series like the Sleepy Hollow, I think it was called by the sheriff. Or Deathly Hollow 1 to 2. I know it has hollow in it, so bear with me. But yeah, I'll probably be reading that one next. But yeah, I don't want to keep you guys here any longer. Yet again, I want to say thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you all for subscribing and even watching these videos and even leaving little comments. I really just want to say thank you all. The stories will be linked down below. They're not like individual stories. They're just like kind of in a format where it's like 1 through 5, then also 1 through 5, but I just combined the two, so it makes 10. So hopefully, it kind of gives you the little fix that you guys need for the little horror aspects. Even though I probably didn't speak too well this time. I don't know. My nose is kind of clogged up because I slept with my window open, so bear with me. But yeah, I don't want to keep you guys here any longer. I want to say thank you guys so much for everything. Thank you guys for the support. It means a lot. If you guys want more of these, I'll make more. So, make sure to leave a like. And hey, if you want to subscribe, please do. I have a lot of content coming out. So, if you're not just interested in scary stories, if you like, Dead by Daylight or, other stuff, feel free to, check out those videos if you want. So yeah, I want to say thank you guys so much for everything. I'll see you guys later. Bye, everyone.